Alright, so continuing on with Amphibia, we have Feud and Adventures in Catsitting, and I think these two episodes are kind of be like hop till you drop, a lot more chill, relaxed, fun episodes, because I feel that kind of as we get closer to like the mid-season stuff is like when, you know, stuff's gonna happen. So I think for now we're just gonna kind of see, you know, Anne and the Planters, like, getting used to being in LA, you know, and being back at home, and for, you know, the Planters getting used to Earth. With Feud, I think it's gonna be interesting to see, like, Sprig and Anne's parents connecting, because he's gonna try and help them out with their restaurant business. And then I think Adventures in Catsitting is going to be really, really funny, because it's going to be the Planters taking Domino to the vet. So, like, I mean, you know, what could possibly go wrong? So yeah, so looking forward to these episodes again, because I think they're just going to be really funny and sweet. So, let's go. Oh man, look at them just, like, having breakfast together.
Like eggs? Yes. Thank you for the delicious food.
Oh, you're very
Oh my gosh, look at Polly being, like, polite. Oh my gosh, is that a Pikachu shirt? I'm gonna pull out the sriracha. It's gonna be sriracha. Doesn't have the rooster on it, but you know that green cap.
We're family.
Oh, ooh. You still gotta behave yourself, dude.
Doesn't automatically make you a Boonchuy.
Yeah.
Doesn't it though? I mean, the math checks out. You're not a part of Anne's family.
Oh.
Anne?
Oh no.
I just always wanted a bigger family, and I guess I got a little carried away.
Of course corrected.
Try to research some portals and junk while we're gone.
You got it.
All the research on
So,
portals,
you want
that's just
Stargate
on Google.
or Quantum Hop?
Quantum hop. Quantum hop.
Don't worry about it, Pink Frog. You're our guest.
Pink
Why
Frog?
don't you sit in the corner with a Thai iced tea?
Ugh, I hate being a stupid guest. I want to be family.
A Thai iced tea. And lychees.
What's happening, Boonchuy?
Oh god. I already saw people point out that there's a Romance Academy shirt, which is a callback to Gravity Falls.
We're just not interested in a food truck.
But you've got the best Thai food in the county.
Food trucks
and
are
if we
very
partnered
popular.
up, couldn't you just share some of your recipes with me?
Oh,
Absolutely not.
no.
This
You know where to find me.
Just sitting outside your place of business in my food truck.
Literally.
I don't.
Oh.
What do I
Oh,
do?
no.
What do I do?
Wow. Mental
He means
breakdown.
well.
Oh
Why,
man,
if
Sprig's like,
someone
I'm
were
gonna
to
take
solve it,
matters into
your
my
mom
own
might consider
hands.
him the
My
son she
own
never
frog
had.
hands. It's amazing that none of the characters know better at this point.
Here you go.
Oh man, I want some noodles right now really bad. I guess you don't have to pay?
Oh my frog! This food, it's starting to be pink!
Oh.
Hey, I wouldn't mind being pink.
Eh?
She only yells at family.
Ouch, Anne. Thanks
Oh
for
man,
rubbing
just,
Look,
just
Sprig, I know what you're
keeps
doing.
pouring
here.
salt
I
in
get
those
why,
wounds.
But please,
Now you did it!
You know, I feel you reach a point where you're like, hey, I got Anne in trouble. Maybe I shouldn't do that again. Oh, he's listening to the Amphibia theme song that has the lyrics. Oh man, this is gonna backfire. Like everything else, it's gonna backfire, but you know.
And now to destroy an Earthman's livelihood.
Oh, God. Oh. Oh, choking hazard, don't do that.
Oh no.
Oh, this is the part where she gets in the
Sprig,
truck.
Boonchuy, and by making this food truck
Is that a
disappear.
Guy Fieri bobblehead?
Watch.
Pink Frog!
Imagine being in that situation and she just yells pink frog.
Holy crab apple! When did we start?
Yeah, ooh, nope, those are a lot more sensitive than you think.
Brakes aren't working.
What? Oh God. No, what's next? Yeah, what's next? Oh God, a turtle. It's a sturdy turtle. Oh God. Oh, jeez. It's amazing that no one's gotten injured yet. Dead.
I don't believe it.
We did it!
Wow, they got there quickly.
It's okay, Pink Frog. I mean, Sprig. I know how much you mean to my daughter, and how much she means to you.
I'm so sorry.
Breakdown at the
I'm done trying
skate
to get
park.
your recipes. I just realized this is a gross appropriation of your culture, and I should just show myself out.
All right, hey, we getting kind of real here, all right.
Look,
Yay! I'll make you guys proud. Oh man, I gotta get these brakes fixed.
Well,
And
I
the
guess
rest
we're
of the
all
truck
done
too.
here.
Why are you smiling?
You're scolding me. Yay!
Already having second thoughts about this.
Is Domino just so happy? Just be a cat and just living the best life.
We've already been here 2 days. Pretty soon we'll have to start pulling our own weight.
It's only been
Hop
2
up, we've been here
days?
for a whole week.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, 2 days, that's it?
I don't even think he was really our cousin.
But thankfully, he eventually left peacefully on his own.
Did
Just
he?
kidding, we threw him out the
I
window.
was about to say.
It's time for your dentist appointment.
My what?
You have
Oh.
been missing for 5 months, and I have a feeling you haven't been brushing.
Oh, but
Yeah,
Mom,
definitely not.
Sure,
I'm
it's
surprised
the
how they're
least
just
we
like,
can do to
yes,
help.
of course,
You guys
go
are
out
lifesavers.
without our
Here's the address to
supervision.
the vet. If anyone suspects anything
Do they
family
even know
value,
what an
just say,
address
"Boy,
is?
what could you
If anything go wrong, just give me a call.
Oh god, something's definitely
Sweet, a
go wrong.
burner.
Mom, please! My teeth only hurt a little bit. Ah!
Have fun.
Oh no, you touched the tummy. My cats actually like their tummy's pet. Oh god, oh god. Oh yeah, that's I got a right suspicion.
Boy, I could use some coffee.
Well,
We're not asking for any more
Where's the
favors.
cat?
We just need to focus up and get
Okay,
this
there.
job.
Wow, it's impressive that the flip phone has GPS. No, it's like tiny. It's gonna, yeah, there you go. I mean, it'll still peck you, but. Oh man, imagine what an existential crisis that would be.
And is that a fake nose?
The first one who realized.
Let's get at it.
Oh no. Oh my god, this would be like my worst nightmare. If any of my either one of my cats went missing, I would cry.
I found this guy. Think I don't know
Possum.
the difference?
Do you ever see those like posts where like I found a cat or a dog and it's just like a messed up possum?
Yeah, we lost the cat. Okay, shawarma. Oh, but his face is frozen in a horrible friend. Hoppy trails.
Oh no.
All we need is a distraction.
You guys are like
Hey,
the
isn't
best
that
at
one of
making
those apartment
distractions.
But I'm still waiting for my order.
The shawarma's good, but is it worth your life, Karen?
My name's Emily, but point taken.
They didn't take the cat? Man, Polly, you are asking for it. Appreciate and respect the dedication and determination, but man, cat scratches, especially when they're playing, ouch.
You three took my daughter into your home when she needed it most. You kept her fed and safe for 5 months just out of the kindness of your heart. You will never owe us anything. Ever.
Wow,
Everything
Oh
great,
man,
Domino.
and
You guys are everywhere.
oh boy,
Okay.
little loopy.
well, what's that now?
You're
Do me next.
really,
Do me next.
Hey,
really
you
out
guys
of it.
actually wanna-
No. Oh, those were both really sweet. Especially, Mr. Boonchuy talking to, the planners. I love seeing Anne's, like, two families interact with each other. It's so sweet and just heartwarming. So continuing on with Anne being back home and the planters getting used to LA, we have Thai Feud and Adventures in Catsitting. Both of which were funny endeavors from the planters as they are still getting acclimated to life in LA. The first of which we see Sprig trying to help Mrs. Boonchuy out with the family business, Thai Go. The central conflict with this episode is that Sprig is upset that he isn't considered family and being treated as a guest since the Boonchuys haven't officially welcomed the planters as family members. I do like that Sprig's reasoning isn't as black and white as you may think. It's not just being included, it stems from Sprig not having a big family. He's only had Polly and Hot Pop for most of his life, so it makes sense why he'd want to be a part of a family that's bigger. Especially with Sprig losing his parents, it makes sense why he'd specifically like to join a family that has a mother and father. Sprig already voiced some of his feelings on his mom in Hopping Mall, so him wanting to be a part of Mrs. Boonchuy's family makes even more sense. So when Sprig was rather rude during breakfast, he wants to make it up to her by helping out at the restaurant. And really quick, we get references to Stargate and Quantum Leap, which are going to be viewed as credible sources for portals by Hop Hop and Polly. Once we get to the restaurant, we see Sprig still being treated as a guest despite him wanting to be family and his eagerness to help. But Sprig's situation also parallels a situation with Tygo's #1 customer, Ned, who wants to help expand the restaurant's services via a food truck and wants some of the recipes to do so. However, Mrs. Boonchuy says that the recipes are for family only, and with Ned's reluctance, his food truck is actually hurting the business. Which is similar to how Sprig wants to help Mrs. Boonchuy out and win her approval, but his actions just make things worse. Even Anne tells Sprig not to get involved, which continues to show that she's far more responsible now. But even after his meddling, Mrs. Boonchuy scolds Anne for Sprig's actions, since he is still a guest in her eyes. And while it hurts, it ends up making Sprig even more determined and taking things to the extreme by sabotaging the food truck. And in the squabble of Anne trying to stop him, it causes the truck to go on a runaway chase, which ends up at the skate park. But I do have to point out the Guy Fieri-esque bobblehead and the Mario Kart references here. Now, Sprig apologizes for his actions and taking things too far, but Mrs. Boonchuy understands where Sprig is coming from and knows that he and Anne are important to each other. I think between Mr. and Mrs. Boonchuy, she is the one who is more strict. She doesn't come off as cold per se, but her reassuring Sprig shows that she is caring and understanding. But this interaction between the two leads to Ned realizing that he was in the wrong for trying to assert himself in the family business based on his love of the restaurant. And while Mrs. Boonchuy assures him that the reason she didn't give him the recipes is because they are for family only, I do think it's interesting for the show to mention cultural appropriation. It's not something I was expecting the show to drop so casually in a line of dialogue, but it's one of the things that older viewers will catch and understand. While Mrs. Boonchuy doesn't give the recipe, she does offer Ned a job of helping with deliveries, which he happily accepts. It's when Ned didn't try to force himself into the restaurant that he actually became a part of it. And similarly, it's when Sprig apologizes for his actions and doesn't try to assert himself in the family that Mrs. Boonchuy actually acknowledges him as part of it. However, this also leads to a scolding, but that means that he is truly a part of the family now, so Sprig actually couldn't be happier about this. But this idea of not wanting to be looked down upon by the Boonchuys actually is the central premise of the following episode, Adventures in Catsitting. Taking place after Thai Feud, Hop Hop is worried that the Boonchuys will start to look at them as freeloaders. But I do have to point out the ads in the magazine Anne is reading and says that it's cured diarrhea and solved world hunger. I just thought that those were funny. And I also enjoyed the story about the freeloader cousin Stanley. Now, with the Boonchuys all busy, they find that no one is able to take Domino to the vet, so Hop Hop eagerly volunteers to do so to contribute to the family and show their appreciation. Hop Hop has always been a responsible character and one that has a sense of integrity, so him wanting to prove himself is fitting. Plus, we just saw Sprig do something similar in the last episode. After the gang learns the hard way to not touch a cat's stomach, they head to the bus, where we learn that Hop Hop can actually replicate sounds to perfection, a skill that will come in handy later on in this episode. Before we get to that point, the bus ride doesn't go as smoothly as the gang would have hoped for and are kicked off. And with Hop Hop not wanting to bother Mr. Boonchuy and prove that he is capable of pulling his weight, he insists on walking to the vet. Like I said, Hop Hop is a character who takes pride in his responsible side, so he doesn't want to fail here. At the same time, it's good to know when to ask for help, cause it definitely would have saved them a lot of trouble. Once at the vet, Sprig actually sees a frog, which I am surprised didn't result in some sort of existential crisis in seeing that his own species is domesticated and can be a house pet. But hey, Sprig isn't one to get caught up in the grand scheme of things. After harassing the vet for frog facts, and is also shockingly the first person to notice the planters don't seem human, they leave in a hurry and Domino gets loose. Now, I've never had a missing pet before, but if either of my cats went missing, I would be an inconsolable mess. Now, Hop Hop being who he is doesn't want to call for help, but Sprig is at least more willing to ask. And through calling, they know to look for Domino at a nearby shawarma restaurant. Sprig also straight up stole a man's pet frog. Like, yes, it's free, but at the same time, I'm sure their owner is worried, and I don't know how happy a frog will be living in a densely populated urban area. Now the planters are able to find Domino at the restaurant, and thanks to Hop Pop's ability to make sounds, he is able to clear the restaurant out. Also, can I point out that this owner said that he wants to keep Domino forever for his business and then immediately leaves her when he assumes that there is a fire in the building? Like, what the hell? Also, nice Karen joke. Thanks to Polly, she is able to lead Domino back to her crate and Mr. Boonchuy picks the gang up. But since they needed Mr. Boonchuy's help, Hop Pop feels like he failed and will be looked at as a freeloader. And then we get what is honestly one of my favorite scenes in the show of Mr. Boonchuy listing off all of the things the planters did out of the kindness of their hearts in taking care of Anne, and that they will never owe them anything. I know I said that between Mr. and Mrs. Boonchuy, Mr. Boonchuy is the one who is a bit friendlier and warmer. And I think that really shows in this scene. Like I said, Mrs. Boonchuy is a little bit more strict. But she also has a caring and understanding side, like we saw with Sprig and also Ned with the previous episode. I enjoyed seeing both parents reassuring the planters that they don't have to go out of their way to win their approval and that they have already done so much in looking after Anne for so long. Back at home, Anne returns from the dentist, and I've never had laughing gas used on me before. Even when I got my wisdom teeth removed, I just had shots injected at each of my teeth and was conscious the whole time. But I always think it's funny when I see characters be completely out of it and just spew nonsense. Also, I think it's funny that Anne's parents didn't want to deal with her loopiness and just bolted, leaving it to the planters. They love their daughter, but there's also a limit to what they want to deal with. But that was Thai Feud and Adventures in Catsitting. I like that both of these episodes focused on the planters' relationship with Mr. and Mrs. Boonchuy. We've mainly been seeing the planters just get used to Earth, and now we're actually seeing how they are adjusting to home life and how they are navigating their relationships. I've said it before, but the living arrangements now are Anne's two families meeting and living together. So seeing how that develops would be interesting, and I feel this was our first big look at that. I know we'll probably have more fun episodes like these, but I also can't help but feel like some darker stuff is on the way. Sasha and Marcy are still in Amphibia, and the former is starting to build a rebellion, and the latter is going to be used in Andreas' plan. So while we can enjoy the fun now, I feel like we'll be seeing the more serious aspects of the show come to head in the near future. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you have a fantastic day, and until next time guys, take care.